Counting rows. Databases are often used to answer the question, how often does a certain type of data occur in a table? For example, you might want to know how many pets you have or how many pets each owner has, or you might want to perform various kinds of census operations on your animals. Counting the total number of animals you have is the same question as how many rows are in the pet table. So how many rows are in the pet table, because there is one record per pet, so there is one record per pet. So here we have the count, open parentheses, asterisk, close parentheses, and we have the link. You can read more about it if you want, but for now we're just gonna continue. So the count, passing the asterisk, counts the number of rows, so it counts the number of rows. So the query to count your animals looks like this: select and then count the number of rows from the table pet. So, and we have 9. So let's see if this is true. Let me see, let's log in. So we're gonna log in, just MySQL -u root -p. So you enter your password, and okay, so we need to use the database. It's gonna be menagerie like this, and let me see, let's just show tables like this. Okay, so we have the table pet, and now we're gonna type in select from all columns, and we're gonna select it from the table pet. So let me see, we have, okay, so we have 9 rows, as you can see here. So we have 9 rows. Okay, so now let's try it out if it throws us the number 9. Let me see, let's move this one a little up. So now we're gonna type in select, and we're gonna type in count, open close parentheses, we're gonna pass in the asterisk, and it's gonna be from the table pet. So, and it has to give us 9, and as you can see, it gave us the number 9. So the count with asterisk inside of the parentheses counts the number of rows, so that the query count your animal. Okay, so that the query to count your animals look like this. So yeah, we have that. Earlier you retrieved the names of the people who own pets. You can count, okay, you can use the count if you want to find out how many pets each owner has. And as you remember, we can, I think we modify, so maybe some of these would be different, but let's try it out. Okay, so let me see, let's move this one a little bit up. So now we're gonna type in, this is gonna be select owner and comma, and it's gonna be count. Okay, it has to be in uppercase letters, so it's gonna be count, open close parentheses, we pass in the asterisk, and it's gonna be from the table pet like this, and we are gonna group it. So we're gonna group it by, and it's gonna be the owner. Okay, and then we're gonna put in a semicolon at the end. So let's see what it gives us. So we have Diane has 1 pet in this table, so we have modified. Benny has 2. Okay, Benny has 2 in this table, and Gwen has 3. Yeah, Gwen has 3, and Harold has 2. Okay, so yeah, that's it. In previous video, I think we modified the number of animals, so we added or we took some animals. So now let's proceed. The preceding query uses group by to group all records for each owner. The use of count in conjunction with group by is useful for characterizing your data under various groupings. The following examples show different ways to perform animal census operations. Number of animals per species. So let's try it out, this query. And again, let's just type it in. So it's gonna be select species, select is okay, species. We're gonna use count. So, and again, it counts the number of rows from the table pet, and we are gonna group it by, and it's gonna be this time not by owner, but it's gonna be by species. We end up with a semicolon, and let me see. Okay, birds. Okay, birds, we have 2. Cat, we have 2. Dog, we have 3. Okay, hamster. Okay, so yeah, I remember that we added it manually, but then we deleted a table, so it's not here the hamster. Okay, and then snake we have one. That's fine. Okay, now number of animals per sex, and okay, this is pretty similar. So let's try it out. Okay, so it's gonna be select, and you're gonna get used to it when, for example, when I type in the select clause or the select statement, you have to type it in with uppercase letters, but when you type sex, for example, it has to be lowercase, species, name, whatever. So this is the column. Okay, as you can see, we're gonna have two columns. That is gonna be the sex column and the count column. So we are gonna type in count with uppercase letters. We're gonna pass in the parentheses, I mean the asterisk inside of the parentheses from the table pet, and we are gonna group it. We're gonna group it by sex. Okay, like this. And let me see what do we have here. Let me see, select sex, count. Okay, count from pet, group by sex, and we have male, we have okay, 3. Okay, no, female we have 3, male we have 4, and I mean we have this S here, but in total we have 4 rows, so that's fine. And this output null indicates the sex is unknown, so in this case we don't have null as you can see here, but we have an S for our case here. Instead of null we have an S. Okay, number of animals per combination of species and sex, and this is also depending of your file. That, for example, when we went to our, let's see, I think it was in programming, it was in MySQL, and this is the table that we are working with up to this point. So I just pretty much copy and paste it. So we just have this table inside of the .txt file, I mean extension. So we have this file here, we're working with this. So let's continue. Now we have select species, sex. Okay, we're gonna have 3 columns, the species, the sex, and now it's gonna be count, and we're gonna group it by species and sex. So let's try it out. And okay, I'm just gonna use my keyboard, my page up, and I'm gonna modify a little bit here. Or you know what, I'm just gonna type it in. See, yeah, it's much better. So we're gonna select, and it's gonna be species, and it's gonna be sex, and we're gonna separate it by commas. Now we're gonna select also count. We're gonna pass in the asterisk, and it's gonna be from the table pet, and we're gonna group it by, and it's gonna be we're gonna group it by species and also sex. We end up this with a semicolon, and as you can see we have 3 columns here. Let me make it a little bigger. So we have the species, the sex, and the count. The species, okay, so for in this case they're using null, but in my case, in my terminal, appears S. So we have the cat is female. Okay, we have the cat is female is 1, another cat is male, we have 1, let's see, 2. Okay, dog, we have, okay, we have in the species, we have dog, that is the male, and we have 2 of those, so all of them are just 1. So we don't have the hamster because we added it manually, but then we deleted or just dropped that table. So, and also the snake is, the sex is male, and we have 1. Okay, so you need not to retrieve an entire table when you use count. For example, the previous query, when performed just on dogs and cats, look like this. So we have this query here. Let's just type it in. Where it went? Okay, here's my terminal. Okay, so it's gonna be select, we're gonna type in species, we're gonna type in sex, and then it's gonna be count, like this, open close parentheses, passing in the asterisk, and it's gonna be from the table pet. Next line, where, so where the species Okay, so we have inside single quotes where the species is dog, or so we're using the logical operator or a species is equal to inside single quotes cat. Okay, so presenter is gonna send us to the next line, and then here we're gonna group it by a species and also sex, and then we end up this statement with a semicolon. And you could write this whole statement in one single line, but it's gonna get really big and it's gonna overtake our terminal. So as you remember, you can just pretty much break it down as I did here, and when you want to finish this statement you just type in your semicolon at the end. So, and this is what we got. Let me see, we have cat is a female, we have one. Okay, another cat is a male, we have one. We have a dog that is a female, we have one. And two male dogs. Okay, that's fine. What else do we have here? Or if you wanted the number of animals per sex only for animals whose sex is unknown. So let's try this one, and let me see if it's pretty much similar. Okay, so we have, okay, so we can, okay, so I'm just using my keyboard and I'm using the page app. So I'm pressing it 3 times, so I get the select species, sex, count from pet. So this is pretty much similar. I'm gonna go to the next line. I'm gonna press it I'm gonna press it twice. Let me see, I'm gonna press it one more time. Select owner, select where. Okay, so where. Okay, yeah, it didn't work, but I'm gonna type it in where sex is not null, and again null has to be in, well, it's not has to be in uppercase letters, and also null has to be in uppercase letters. So where sex is not null. So, and then we're gonna group it by, and it's gonna be species comma sex, and then we end up with a semicolon. So let me see. Okay, let's try it out. And we have, okay, so the bird, this is female, we have one. What is the bird is female, we have one. We have the snake, there's a male, we have one. 2 is the dog, so here dog. Okay, so we have 2 male dogs here. Let me see, dog male, we have 2. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so if you name columns to select an addition to the count value, a group by clause should be present that names those same columns. Otherwise, the following error or the following occurs. So if the only full group by, so if the only full group by, so here I know we have another link if you want to check it out. Okay, SQL mode is enabled, an error occurs. So let's try it out what they are talking about here. So we're gonna just type in set, and it's gonna be SQL underscore mode. Okay, and we are gonna set it to inside single quotes with uppercase letters, so it's gonna be only underscore full underscore group, and then underscore by. We end up this statement with a semicolon. Let me see if I type it everything right. Only full. Okay, so let's try it in. Okay, query, okay, 0 rows affected, that's fine. And now we're gonna select owner count from pet. So let's see if they give us that error. So it's gonna be select, it's gonna be select owner like this, and then we're gonna separate it with a comma. We're gonna have the count inside of the parentheses. We're gonna pass in the asterisk. It's gonna be from the table pet. We end up with a semicolon, and let's see what happens. Select owner. Okay, an aggregated query without group by expression number 1 of select list. Let me see, of select list contains non-aggregated column M. Okay, menagerie that pet that owner. This is incompatible with the SQL underscore mode. Oh, okay, so that's it. What else do we have here? If only full group. Okay, if only full group by is not enabled, the query is processed by treating all rows as a single group, but the value selected for each name column is non-deterministic. The server is free to select the value from any row. So let's try them. Now we're gonna go into here, select. It's gonna be select. It's gonna be SQL underscore mode, and we are gonna set it to single quotes. Single quotes, and press enter, and unknown colon SQL mode. So we have let me see. Oh no, I type in select. It was set. Has to be set SQL underscore mode, and then we're gonna set it to the single quotes, and then we are gonna put in our semicolon at the end. Okay, so query okay, blah blah blah, 0 rows affected, and okay, we have that. And now we are gonna type in select owner, count from pets. So let's try it. And now we're gonna type in we're gonna type in select, and it's gonna be owner, select owner, and then we're gonna type in count. We're gonna pass in the asterisk here like this, and it's gonna be from the table pet, and we're gonna end up with a semicolon, and it's gonna give us 9. So in our case it has 9, but in this example here it has 8 because it's from it's different. We omitted 1 here. Okay, so now we have see also section 12.19 MySQL handling of group by, so you can check out that if you want. So